Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of SmackDown. And
Welcome to the SmackDown Penitentiary.
I am your host, Victor Rodriguez, and I am alone today, ladies and gentlemen. So if anybody wants to come in and talk to me, come through, because I am going to be talking about SmackDown. So now this SmackDown was quite interesting, and it's sad to say, it really is sad to say that this is John Cena's last SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sad about it because I mean it's the end of an era. It's the end of an era. It's the end of um just John. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, he's been gone for a minute, but still, like it's the end of an era right now. It's the last SmackDown that John Cena is going to be in. We all know that John Cena is a big SmackDown guy, and I personally am going to miss the guy. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, he's definitely going to be around. We're going to see him do stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely going to miss the guy. And this right here was just straight magic, in my opinion, because it kind of brought back certain things that I totally forgot about. Right, I completely forgot about. And the promo that he caught here was great. It was great. It was nice. It was fun. You know what I mean? And, hey, what's going on, Jeff? How you doing, fam? Yeah, bro. Life be lifing. Life be lifing. But we ready to talk about SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro. Anyway, so like I was saying before, I'm really gonna miss the guy because the truth is that nobody cuts a promo like John Cena. Nobody in the history of wrestling cuts a promo like John Cena. And John Cena was just basically hyping up the crowd. Look at him in his Cubs gear and all of that. And he was pretty much just talking about everything that he's done with the crowd, everything that he's thankful for, and all of that. Mentioned CM Punk slightly. For a second, I thought CM Punk was going to come out and talk to John for a little bit, but that kind of would have messed up the segment that's coming in later. And mind you, John even teased it. Like, you know what I'm saying? AJ Lee coming back is the worst secret in wrestling, because John even teased it that night, and in his initial promo, which is interesting to say the least. You know what I mean? Because I found that whole thing quite interesting. But yeah, man, Peacemaker came through, and it was just a fun time had by all. You know what I mean? But then eventually, Sami Zayn comes out. I'm like, where is that? Where's Sami Zayn? Because he cuts a long ass promo. But anyway, Sami Zayn comes out and offers him a United States Championship match. Now, mind you, I completely forgot about the fact that Sami Zayn debuted at a U.S. Open challenge. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Oh shit, I forgot about that. He debuted against Kurt Angle there too. Nice. I completely forgot about that. Look at that. I mean, like, listen, bro. I've been watching wrestling for 40 years, and I'm 43 years old. You know what I mean? I mean, this might sound controversial, but I was a Hulkamania. You feel me? Like, when I was 3 years old, I was, you know what I mean? Revving up. So my point in saying that is just that, like, this kind of feels crazy, but at the same time, it's like, damn, that 20 years was really short. It really was money short. And you know what? I'll give you that too. Sammy getting booed was definitely nuts. It really was, especially in Chicago. But I get that, because for a second it kind of felt like Sami Zayn was going to say something heelish, and just to get the match going. You know what I mean? And I think that the crowd kind of just jumps into those roles sometimes, because as soon as Sami Zayn said something positive, all of a sudden they were cheering for him. You know what I mean? Like, this was definitely a baby, and I really liked it, because, mind you, this match was good. This match was really good. And in my opinion, like anything that John does at this point is gonna be quality. You know, they're gonna do quality stuff. And this match was definitely there. You know, it was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of different finishers that happened. I mean, John was just doing. John did CM Punk's finisher. John did Edge's finisher. John did hit everybody's shit. Did his own thing twice. Like, mind you, they went to the limit. I think this was the longest match of the night. Like, they really, really gave them time, and they really put a show on for Chicago. And mind you, like as a New York wrestling fan, I can say that we're spoiled, right? We're spoiled with wrestling because we have all of these different arenas and all of these different things around us. And I as a wrestling fan have always wanted to get into at least experience the Chicago scene, because I feel like it's on par, if not better, than the New York scene. You know, because the thing about the New York scene is that it's just about really filling up seats. I don't think that we have the same passion as Chicago fans. So that's something that I definitely like to experience. Now, hey Charmaine, another thing I'd like to experience is um wrestling in France. Like I am still very impressed with everything that happened in Paris, as a crowd basis, like from Lyon to Paris. Like man, being in that crowd would probably be amazing. But anyway, let's continue talking about this match. This match was, like I said before, it was really good. He did KO's pop up power bomb and Edge's spear. Facts, he did do a pop up power bomb and the spear, and the way that he did the spear was just hilarious. He pretended to have long hair and did that whole thing, and then they like sort of mentioned Edge, which I thought was cool. I thought they were gonna say his name, but they didn't. Um, so you know, which is interesting because mind you, they say Chris Jericho all the time. You know what I mean? But I found that interesting how they didn't mention Edge at all. And yeah, man, it was really cool, bro. It really was. It was a nice like nostalgic match. It was a great thing for the show for the people of Chicago. But nobody won the match because guess why? Oh yeah, you know clearly this was a setup. Yes, it was a fun match, Jeff. This was clearly a setup for WrestlePalooza, and I find it interesting that they're calling it WrestlePalooza. But clearly, this was, you know, a match to eventually promote WrestlePalooza and have Brock Lesnar come out and do his damage, and like as he always does, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Look at that! Look at that! He's just doing his damage. But um, you know, regardless of how you feel about his whole situation, in my opinion, it is nice to see Brock Lesnar back in the field, back doing things. I'm sure he's not going to be around for long. I'm sure this is probably a one-off or something, but it was definitely great, great, great to see. How do y'all feel about it? Tell me in the comments. You know what I mean? Word up. Here comes the pain. Absolutely. Absolutely. And he just left them laying the freak out, ladies and gents. And it was cool. It was cool. So clearly, you know, after that, Brock went backstage and said to John, "I'll see you at WrestlePalooza." You know, and called him a bitch. And you know, that was great. That was great. So now clearly it's gonna be Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at WrestlePalooza. It should be a match to remember. Um Brock wants to retire too down the line. I mean, I get that too, yo. It's a he's already mind you, Brock Lesnar has a belt that commemorates his 20 years in wrestling. Um Already. You know what I mean? Like a Triple H belt, like a Rey Mysterio belt. Randy Orton has one. John Cena's got several. You know, he already has like a Legends belt that they sell at the shop. So at this point, he should. You know what I mean? But he still has a lot of presence. He's still huge, and I think that that it's gonna that it'll work. You know what I mean? I think that he probably still got a couple years in him, or he's just gonna be a special attraction, as he always is. I mean, and mind you, not even that. I mean, as he should be. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool, but let's see. The next thing I think was it Damian Priest versus Aleister Black, because that shit went long. That shit went real long. You know what I mean? But we'll see. You know, because I mean, a lot of the SmackDown was really a promo for WrestlePalooza more than anything. So you know, we'll see what else goes on when it comes to that. But the other thing here is that the next match I thought was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. You know, I mean, to finally see a little bit go down between Damian and Aleister Black. So how do you
And Alistair.
how do y'all feel about Damian Priest and Aleister Black? Honestly, because I don't know. Like I feel like they're just feuding because they're friends, but I really don't know where this is going. You know what I mean? I mean, clearly they're putting on good matches. Don't get me wrong. Like they're putting on good stuff. They really are. But I don't know where this is going. You know what I mean? I wonder if they're just putting them together because yeah, no, because like they know each other and they're friends or whatever, but like I don't know. And they're definitely putting on good stuff, but storyline wise, like I don't know where this is going. And I feel like unfortunately that's a pattern for Damian Priest. And don't get me wrong, like I'm biased with Damian Priest. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he's great, and because he's Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I do have a little bit of bias with him, but still, like, you know, the way they utilize him, and the same thing between him and with Selena Vega, I just don't know where the hell things are going. So I mean, we'll see, but you know, I hold on. What'd you say? I like that the rivalry between them, it gives Addison and Damian something to do. It does give him something to do. I'll give you that. It gives him something to do, but the problem is that it feels that way. You know what I mean? Maybe that'll end them up in the U.S. title picture. That would be nice. You know what I'm saying? Or I personally think that Damian needs a belt because you know without it he's he's I hate to say this, but he's kind of turning into a jobber. You know what I mean? And I'm a fan of Priest. You know, um, because he's from the Bronx, he's from New York, like he's from you know what I mean. Like I'm a fan of this guy, but and mind you, I'm sure that they all cool because he got Alistair Black got a Puerto Rican wife. You know what I mean? Just like CM Punk. So um but yeah, you know, and mind you, the other thing is that it really is nice to see Alistair Black back in WWE. He was pretty much doing the same gimmick in AEW, and I don't know. I just feel like he's gonna do better overall. You know, since he's all demonic and shit. I wonder if he should join the Wyatt Six. You know what I mean? I wonder if he should do that, and make him the Wyatt Seven, or just have or do another House of Black or whatever. Um, because he's definitely really good when he's got a goon squad, not necessarily when he's by himself. I don't know. What do y'all think? You know, he might. I don't know. I always picture him with a bunch of goons, like running around and doing the thing. But when he's by himself, like I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't go anywhere. I don't think it hits with everybody. I could be wrong though. I definitely could be wrong about that, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But this match went pretty long, honestly, and it was good. Oh, mind you, look, I love it when Damian Priest does his callback to the Undertaker. Mind you, he's tall enough to get away with that. The walking on the ropes. Because I missed that. Like nobody else does that, right? And that whole thing is cool. It's interesting. You know what I mean? And clearly I'm rambling because I'm by myself, but I'm saying if anybody wants to come and join in, that would be fun. You know what I mean? But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Oh, here comes stiff Tiffany Stratton talking her mess. Talking a mess. Hey Maria, how you doing? What's going on? Oh, you like SmackDown? uh. I hope they pair Alistair and Selena together. She's been acting weird in her pictures lately. Oh, let's talk about that. Listen, I am all here for power couple wrestling. I am loving it. If they pair Selena Vega with her husband, that would be great. You know what I mean? I'm loving all of this. Yeah. Bum, bum. So, yes, yes, she was talking her mess. And Tiffany Stratton does need to be a heel at this point. She does. I think her babyface run has met its peak, and I think she definitely needs to be a heel. I think that placing her against Jade definitely does that. And mind you, and they're just using Nia Jax to to make Jade more of a babyface. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm here for it because everybody knows I love me some Nia Jax. I love me some Nia Jax. I've always loved Nia Jax from the beginning. One of my favorite WWE moments is when Nia Jax went into the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble, kicking out damn Mr. Perfect Son. What's his name? Yeah, I can't believe I forgot Mr. Perfect Son name. What is his name? Axelmania. Shit, I forgot his name. Anyway, but anyway, that shit was cool when she did that. That's why I love me some Nia Jax. Like she's just she's great for the business. You know what I mean? Oh, Cody and Brandy in the future, but Brandy's not a worker. You know what I mean? Like the thing I didn't like about Brandy in AEW is that she was just trying to figure out a hustle here and there. She started selling heels and like was just, doing all kinds of like wild things. You know what I mean? Like Brandy, I'm sorry to say this, but Brandy felt like a first lady that was just looking for something to do. You know what I mean? Like just they didn't have anything to do, like Laura Bush type shit. You know what I mean? Like she was just looking for something to do, and she didn't have it. And I'm sorry to say that because Brandy's very smart, but like, if she was a worker, that would be great because, like I said before, Axel Rose, thank you. That was Curtis Axel, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But anyway, yeah, that was my favorite. See how y'all got me rambling over here? But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, hey, Nia Jackson and Jade Cargill. See how they making Jade into like a face now. I love it. I love it. How they just pushing her hard. And we'll see where it goes, man. Because I really hope that it kind of doesn't kill her stock a little bit. Because look, Nia Jax was a champion. She was a heel the whole time, and it really worked out in the end for Tiffany Stratton. So now we got the filler match of the night, and I hate to call it the filler match. I really do hate to call it the filler match of the night because I'm a fan of Michin. I just feel like Michin is the female leader of the Job Squad. When she was part of AJ Styles group, um, and she was with these two guys. And see how I forget their names? And they with Carl Anderson and this guy. And you see how I forget their names? Like, yo, because they're forgettable. And that's why they were all in the Job Squad, and they did the whole thing with AJ Styles, and AJ Styles just ran away from them. Bro. Like, there was never an official split up with Michin, but Michin was just like, yes, 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 yes. I completely agree. And I feel the same way about Julia. I don't think that they know what they're doing. I think they're putting a belt on her to make her look good, but I don't know if they really have a good use for her. So now before the match, they clearly showed that Becky Lynch was in the building and she was having her little tit for tat with Nick Aldis. And Nick is like, yo, watch what you say, man. Stop with your BS. But anyway, back to the match. Julia does look good. Julia has her side piece. I mean her mouthpiece, which is great. You know what I mean? Like Julia has her little mouthpiece, and they're both elevating each other. But I'm really curious to see where this goes because I don't know. I really don't know. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh yeah, Luke Gallows. Um, but like I said, like Michin is like I feel like she's like the Brooklyn Brawler. Like she's just a straight job squad. Like she's straight somebody that they just use to help put other people over. I really want to see Michin hold this belt. Like I don't know if this is part of Michin's booking where she just loses to so many people and then eventually gets the title. But if she does get the title, I guarantee you she's gonna end up like Selena Vega where she has it for a little while and then they just take it away from her like out of nothing. And mind you, I said this before. Really, really feel like they gave Selena Vega the United States Championship to take it to the Puerto Rican Day Parade. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what happened. Mia does need a chance. She does need a chance. Mind you, she's been around for a long time, bro. For a real long time. You know what I mean? And and mind you, like he and her husband is great, but he unfortunately he's got some health issues and he can't be around. But you know, his wife is holding it down. But look how they use her, man. I mean, come on, man. She shouldn't be jobbing to Julia. That's all I'm saying. She shouldn't be. It should be somebody else. You know, maybe they're just doing it because Michin is part of the US title picture, but she shouldn't be jobbing. Anyway, I'm rambling on that aspect, but still like um I'm really wondering where this is gonna lead to. Because look, Julia's little goon came in and started beating up Michin, and they got mad because Michin got close to winning that match, right? But you know, we'll see where it goes. And I'm loving these segments with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I'm not gonna lie, like yo, I'm really loving these segments because they're just ridiculous. Like Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are just having an enormous amount of fun. I, and I'm here for it, and I love it because they're really just enjoying themselves, like an enormous amount. I think it's just freaking great, honestly, because yo, like these two are just doing all kinds of silly things online, and I think that they're taking their online presence and just running with it as a team. Because truth be told, like um as tag team champions, I think it fits them best. I think that they're too great to be in the yes, I agree. I totally agree. Willie was good, Willie. I totally agree that they gave Charlotte more characters. And the fans do love it because like this whole thing about her just being the queen all the time. Um I feel like it's gotten old. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just gotten old and it's just like done. Um, but I really like the way that they set these two up, and she even left her with Lily. And I just find this whole thing interesting because I still remember the promo when Charlotte Flair called her a little kid and all this other stuff from like Charlotte's previous run. So I find that whole thing interesting. So now we're gonna go to the highlight of the night, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not gonna lie, Alexa did break the best out in Charlotte. I agree. I agree, Jeff. I agree. So now we're gonna go to the best part of the night, in my opinion. Because mind you, I didn't see SmackDown live. I had to watch it back, and but there's always spoilers. And immediately, like I was doing something with my wife, and then immediately when I kind of like saw the thumbnail, I knew it was coming, but I was just upset that I missed it. You know what I mean? Because wrestling is one of the only TV shows where it's like you get upset with that you miss it live. If that makes sense. Um, AJ Lee's returns did seem bigger than Punk's, because it wasn't a shock. It wasn't a shock. Like when CM Punk returned, I think that was the first time that they did like an after show thing, like an after show shock. And clearly AJ Lee they had planned for, they had done this whole thing. They created a spot for it. She had her attack Becky Lynch. They had everybody come out and just be a part of it. And I think that backstage they're all super happy because this was an amazing job. For Seth Rollins to come out, introduce his wife, both with championships, which is something that I've always wanted to see. And I really love the booking of this heel championship team. Now, I'm curious if Becky Lynch is officially part of the Vision, which would be amazing because I feel like that she is. You know, uh, I agree. Definitely the best main event in SmackDown in years. And mind you, this was a great SmackDown, not only because of Cena, but because of this. So the man comes out, and Seth Rollins is up on the stands, and they're both just talking that shit. And mind you, Becky Lynch is amazing at cutting down the crowd. What she did in Dublin, I thought was just brilliant. Like she's just really good. Oh, you heard that she's in the group officially? All right, cool. That makes a lot of sense. I heard so in Dublin she was just really good at just hyping them up and then cutting them down. Like I really like this couple because I think that they understand the psychology of the wrestling business better than anybody else. I really do. The way that they do things is just amazing. And there's, I know, I look in 20 years, there's going to be a lot of expectation from Ro if she does go down this path. But her parents are just doing amazing things, and they're part of many amazing moments. And tonight was just that. The way that she started cutting down Chicago, talking about how everybody sucks, how the Bulls sucks, how the Sabres suck, how everything sucks, and just getting booed off the stage, just setting it up for none other than CM Punk to come out to his Chicago crowd. And mind you, when he does the clobbering time, he doesn't even say it. They say it for him. And I love that. Um, when they forced them together, and now it definitely feels organic. It feels very organic. Yes, I agree, Jeff. It feels very organic, and I am here for it because this was just amazing. Mind you, I watched it back a few times already on YouTube because this was just great. So there's Seth Rollins hating CM Punk, and here goes CM Punk just talking to Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch saying all kinds of wild things, and CM Punk is just like, listen, man, this got nothing to do with you. And mind you, here's what I love about CM Punk. Like throughout this whole thing, he started talking about collecting favors, and he started talking about Rhea Ripley, and he started talking about all of the females that he knows in the back that would help him out, that look up to him and things like that. Barely, not even mentioning AJ Lee, right? But then they all were cheering AJ Lee, and he says to her, she's, they earned the right to cheer AJ Lee and let them cheer AJ Lee and all of that. And then he mentions all these other girls, and he kind of just like mind fucked everybody thinking like, is she coming out or is she not? You know what I mean? And then when he finally when he after she like hits him and smacks him up and things like that, it all of a sudden, bomb, look at her just hitting him and shit. I like that whole thing when she puts her head on his chest. I find that weird. And then she just keeps talking all that smack, talking all that smack. But in the end, oh man, it was just beautiful to see. And mind you, this brought a tear in my eye. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not manly enough for me to be this sensitive, but this shit just brought a tear in my eye, even though I kind of knew it was gonna happen. Look at Seth Rollins' face. He's such a good actor. Like this brought a tear in my eye just seeing her. Just wow, she's so great. She's just so great. And that was just, that pop brought a tear in my eye. You know what I mean? Like, like this is just amazing. It was amazing. Like I'm so happy to see her back in the field, back doing her thing. Because mind you, like this is somebody that I really thought was never gonna come back. She found other things to do, and kind of moved on with her life. Like a lot of people do, like Mandy Rose type. You know what I mean? But it is just so I'm just so happy to see her back, and she looks like she only aged a year, which is amazing. Like it's been 13 years since she's been around, and the other thing is just look at CM Punk. Just look at him. Look how proud he looks. Like he is just so happy that his wife is back um, in the field and generating pops and doing that little sitting thing. And just look at him at the corner, just ready. And the way that she does look toned. Other males like Randy and would have gotten slapped by the first slap. There, you funny, bro. That's true. She does. I mean, she look. I mean, no, you can see the little age in her face, but but she does. She looks. She's very much the same. But that's Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? That's Puerto Rican right there. So she ain't cracking like that. And then, bam, she comes in. They do the spot. She starts beating up Becky Lynch. And then after that, it was great. So then Seth Rollins comes back, picks up his wife, and they share a moment, which is super cute. They share a nice little moment, and the way they end the show was just amazing. You know, I loved it. I loved it. This was one of my favorite SmackDowns in a long, long time. I unfortunately didn't have a host to help me today, but I had to talk about this because this was just amazing. It really was. This was just amazing. And mind you, like there's parts of the show that we didn't necessarily get to see. And look, like this was just hilarious. The way Seth Rollins is carrying his wife. Yo. That shit was just great. Man, 4 million views on YouTube already. That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, and mind you, that's what wrestling is about now. It's the moments. You know what I mean? Like these type of moments, you would have to record and rewind the tape back in the day for these type of things to watch them back. And like, now we live in the YouTube world where they got make moments for that so that it could be watched back. And that definitely is one of them because none of us were expecting this to happen. We were all dreaming about it, and the way that they set this up, in my opinion, is straight cinema. Just seeing this battle between these two power couples is going to be amazing. It'll probably lead to like a mixed tag match at WrestlePalooza, or maybe even something at Survivor Series, or who knows. But I think that I give hats off to Triple H because he definitely booked this perfectly, perfectly. I'm here for it. Oh, and mind you, oh, you absolutely right. You're absolutely right. She off when they off air, they had her holding the Intercontinental Championship for a while. Like she was walking around with it type shit. Not that she was posing with it. Like she was walking around with it. And she definitely made a statement with that, which I found interesting because if it's not a mixed tag match, then I would love to see AJ Lee as the Intercontinental Champion. I mean, and speaking of that, like, um, I'm not gonna lie, like I love the fact that Nikki Bella is back. I really thought it was gonna be a one-off. I would love to see Nikki Bella as an Intercontinental or US champion, even if it is for a little while. Same thing with Trish Stratus, and that's something. And I think it's great for women's wrestling that a lot of the legends find a way to come back, find a way to be useful, find a way to do things. The only gripe that I have with that is people like me Chin. You know what I mean? Like I personally would I would love to see for example, AJ Lee beat Roxanne Perez for a championship. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. But when it comes to somebody like Michin, that's somebody that's deserving and been there for so long, I wonder if people like AJ Lee and people like Nikki Bella coming back are kind of taking spots away from them. Because clearly they're bigger names. But then at the end of the day, those people might not necessarily do as much. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Corey Graves situation, where you're really good, but if somebody with a bigger name comes along, you taking this, you're a reserve. So and that's why I say that Michin is pretty much the job squad. But we'll see. We'll see. AJ versus Naomi again. Oh man, that would be official. AJ versus Naomi, that would be great. I'm sure that they'd have some stuff. And mind you, Naomi even said on Twitter, like, these women don't just these heifers. I love it when she says these heifers. Like, it's hilarious. She was like, these heifers don't deserve to share a locker room with AJ Lee. Like, I can't wait to come back. Like, oh man, I think Naomi is gonna pull the Becky Lynch and just go hard and just come back as good as possible. 'Cause Becky Lynch is really the example of you can get pregnant, have a kid, and come right back to take bumps, which is admirable of that entire family, bro. Because look at what they're doing. But anyway, um, let's talk about what y'all think about WrestlePalooza. What do y'all think it's gonna be like? AJ versus Alexa, that would be good. That would be good. But I mean, well, yeah, AJ should be on Raw this Monday. They're probably gonna be, mind you, the world heavyweight champion being on SmackDown, and they clearly just did that because it was Chicago. Chicago was clearly gonna get the biggest pop from them, so clearly they're gonna go to Raw. Uh, but we'll see. We'll definitely see what happens because I think everybody is very excited to see that AJ Lee is back and what's gonna happen. It's either gonna be a tag match or it's either gonna be a championship chase. You know, but when it comes to WrestlePalooza, I'm also curious to see what happens with that show because it's new. The name isn't new, but the concept of the show is new. I think this is the first show that's going on ESPN. Yeah, and that is. It's the first show that's going on ESPN. So I'm very curious to see what what the direction is, what they do, how they change things, because I want to say the past 2 years since TKO has taken over, there's definitely been an enormous amount of change, especially like when they go overseas and everything seems to be run by Saudi Arabia. But you know what I mean, because you just see all of this advertisements for all the Saudi stuff. But still, like the business is growing. The business is definitely growing. Oh, mind you, yeah, Pat McAfee is gonna definitely be all over that in Indy. And here's the thing, like when it comes to Indianapolis, and I don't know, I probably just don't get it because I'm a New Yorker. But Indianapolis just feels like a small town to me. And I've been there, and I've been to Lucas Oil Stadium, and mind you, Lucas Oil Stadium is massive. So I don't know if it's about the stadium or about the town. But then at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of cities around Indianapolis that people would drive to go to watch these shows. Like people will take the drive, the 2 hour drive or whatever to go watch. Kind of like a New Yorker going to Philly. So that's what I think about it because honestly, Indy just feels like a small town. And it might just be me being from Queens, but that's how it feels. So the name sounds like it. Thank you. Word up. The name Indianapolis makes it sound small. But mind you, I've been there and I've traveled there. Like it just it feels small town to me. Like, like this is little downtown and like it feels like Albany for those of y'all that know. You feel me? So like we'll see. We'll see what happens because mind you, like this is the era of putting big name shows in small venues because listen, the fact that they were proud of 30,000 people in France and they were all hyped about it, I was just like, come on, y'all better recognize. Like, You ever been to MetLife? Like, what's wrong with you? But anyway, I'm talking all kinds of shit. Anyway, um, we're done for the day. I am curious as how the stage is gonna look. I'm very curious because they taking liberties here. They're taking liberties with names and they're taking liberties with all kinds of shit. So I'm very curious to see how that turns out. You know what I mean? But anyway, thanks y'all for joining me today. And there's always a whole bunch of stuff that we got going on because unpopular reviews. We do just about everything, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? We got all kinds of stuff for everybody, and just check us out. Come and see, and because honestly, we got a show just about every single day, and if it's not wrestling, it's entertainment. We got a Raw show, an NXT show, a Dynamite show, a SmackDown show, a Collision show, and mind you, I bet you by this time next year we'll probably end up doing TNA because we all know how TNA is popping now. You know what I mean? You go. Keep this time slot. This time slot isn't bad, but it's just hard to do because we had to figure things out. But I'll definitely keep that in mind, Jeff. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely keep that in mind. But anyway, bro, thanks for joining, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.